Your boy Aaron Rodgers yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Are you surprised yourself that he's still doing it at age 41?
Man, they looked good on offense. I thought it would be a kind of a run first, especially after watching him with the Jets last year. Where are they going to go with this? So, yeah, A-Rod looks good. Over 4,000 yards this year. We're calling it.
Wow. Welcome to Fitz and Whit, a Wave original. We are your host. I am the Fitz part of the equation.
Big Whit, baby.
And that is my big, bald, beautiful friend, Andrew Whitworth. Subscribe on YouTube or wherever you get your podcast, and follow the show on social media at Fitz and Whit. That's Fitz, A-N-D, Whit. We will be coming to you every Wednesday this football season.
Yes, sir. We had a full week of NFL football, Fitz. What a freaking opening week, man. It felt good to be back. And, man, none of those games were disappointing. That was an awesome week, man. We're going to give it all of our thoughts about the biggest games this week. Which teams should hit the panic button already, Fitz? And I know you don't believe in that, but I think a few of them might need to think about it. And you know what? In Man versus Beast, as Fitz faces off with my Bulldog for another round of Harvard versus Hank. I think Hank thinks he's got a better week coming this week, Fitz.
I gotta say,
he's in trouble right now.
I mean, I went 5-0 and he went 3-2 last week, Whit.
Oh, man. And you know what else? I'm excited, too, because this week, Fitz, you and I have Thursday Night Football in Lambeau, the Packers and the Commanders, and we got a legend. Clay Matthews is going to be joining us. Don't worry. He's not going to sack you today, Fitz.
Well, how lucky are we for that game? And how lucky am I that I never ever had to play against him and get sacked by him? Thank you, Jesus.
I'm pretty sure I gave up a sack to him early in my career, but we're definitely not going to post that, okay? Fitz and Whit social media team, leave that off of the document, please.
All right, well, let's get into it, Whit. Week one is over with, and I think we learned a lot about some of these teams. I'm not going to take a victory lap on Daniel Jones, but he sure did look good, Whit.
Just because you said you're not going to take a victory lap doesn't mean that you just didn't take a victory lap, all right? Hey, I was proud of you. Listen, unprompted, you bring it up. I know you did, but I was proud of you. You were very passionate. You wanted to talk about this, and you put it out there, but let's revisit it in about a month and just see. Why don't you hold on for a second, hit the brakes.
All right, I still feel good about it. We'll see.
All right.
And again, I'm not taking a victory lap, but boy, Daniel Jones looked pretty good. All right.
Will you stop taking victory laps so we can move on?
On the other side of it with Miami, though, man. If your team lost their opener, you got to take a breath because there's plenty of football ahead and we can't be overreacting, Andrew.
Well, listen, I see you as one of the locker room leader guys. You're the quarterback. You guys have a rough game. You're like, hey, guys, it was just one game. It's just week one. So listen, does week one really matter, Fitz? I've got some stats that say it does, buddy.
What?
All right?
What do you have? Tell me what you have.
Since 1990, teams that start 1-0 make the playoffs over 50% of the time. Teams that start 0-1, only 25% of the time. So your odds are cut literally in half if you lose week one. All right.
Okay, so basically, what you're telling me is the Chiefs, the Lions, and the Ravens aren't going to the playoffs. Gotcha. Do you have any more stats for me?
I actually do have one for you. All right, let's give last season as an example, Fitz. 9 of the 14 playoff teams in week one, okay, that won in week one.
Yeah.
Listen, you had 5 of those teams that made the playoffs that lost. 4 of those 5 lost to teams who inevitably made the playoffs, right? So what my point is yeah, if you lost one of these big battles like Ravens, Bills, if you lost Lions, Packers, and we're talking elite on elite, we know these teams are great, sure, I give you that chance. But if you didn't, if you had one of these games that we walked into this and said, this should be a victory. Oh, man, we just didn't play to our best. Oh, it just wasn't our best effort. Today, we lacked the energy that we needed. I might be a little nervous as I was you and you're sitting 0-1.
Okay. So I'm buying all that. So you didn't mention Chargers Chiefs, but are you saying Chiefs are okay because the Chargers are a good team?
I think the Chargers are a good football team. I've told you all year, and I know the Chiefs fans are going to come after me. I'm a little nervous. I am. I'm nervous.
I've told you for the last 2.5 years, I'm a little nervous. And what have they done? They've gone to the Super Bowl both years. So.
I understand. I'm a little nervous only because I didn't love that they even talked about coming out flat. I mean, flat in the first game to prove yourselves.
They were in Brazil. What do you want them to do?
First game to prove yourself since like, hey, you know what? We lost the Super Bowl. That wasn't our team. That wasn't who we were. We're going to come out and show you who we are. And Justin Herbert had a different conversation for him. So listen, I'm not saying the Chiefs are in trouble. I'm saying We got to see the response here soon. I think that's a tough division. You look at how the Raiders looked. You look at the Broncos. I think the Broncos didn't play up to their standards, really. I think they could play much better offensively. But that defense is really freaking good. Nick Bonito showing why he's getting paid a lot of money. I think that's going to be a really tough division. So there's not going to be games. There's not room for that kind of stuff this season.
So is that you? That's it? That's all your stats you're going to give me? Because I know on Thursday Night Football, you're a big stat guy too. And you love throwing out all these facts and stats. So are you done? You done with your week one win, lose?
Only that, you know what, if we get into week 2, the odds go up a ton. You go 2-0, it's 64% of the time. You go 0-2, it's 12%. 0-3 teams, you're cooked. It's 2%, right? Just like this week, Fitz, people are going to whine about the Bengals. And I'm going to tell you, they found a way to win. Because how many times have we seen the last couple of years it's coming down to they just need one more W to get themselves in the playoffs and nobody wants to play them? They got the W. That's what matters.
Yeah. That's what I think there is going to be a blatant overreaction. I don't really care about all your facts and stats. Here's what I would say. The Ravens are going to win 14 games this year.
I agree with that.
The Packers looked really tough. The Eagles are still really good. And the Bills have Josh motherfucking Allen. But losing the first game of the season as players, it certainly does challenge the culture and the leadership of a locker room, because you've been setting that up all off season. We're going to start fast. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And when it doesn't go your way, it can certainly present its challenges. And the good locker rooms are the ones that stick together. And the bad locker rooms, you can already, from very early in the season, start to see it splinter. So let's also take a look at some of these teams that you claim aren't going to get to the playoffs because they lost in week 1. I'm going to give you a team, and I want you to tell me if week 1 was a sign of things to come, or if it was an outlier and they're going to be just fine. So the first team I want to start with, you won the bet against JJ. The Rams beat the Texans. What do you think about the Texans this season after week 1?
I think they're exactly who we thought they are. And what that means, what I mean by that is I think that CJ Stroud is still an absolute G. I think he's a heck of a quarterback. I think the problem is he was facing pressure at one of the all-time high rates that he's seen in his first couple of years. They continue to not find good ways to protect him. I think that defense is unbelievable. I mean, if it's not a testament to this game, how physical it was, both teams lost guys up front on both sides of the football all throughout the game because of how physical this game played every snap. I think that with the Texans, going to be an unbelievable defense. I think they're going to be really special on the defensive side of the ball. But offensively, was worried about the offensive line moves in the offseason, didn't have a lot of faith in them. And again, CJ Stroud pressured way too much in this game. I know it's a good Rams front, but I just think that's going to be a lot of the narrative for the season. And if they don't find better ways to protect him, even though he was effective throughout the game at times, even with pressure, it's just not a world he can live in, man. You can't continue to have a quarterback like CJ Stroud who plays so good in the pocket under pressure all the time and expect to play good offense in the NFL.
Yeah, and I was expecting a huge game from Nico Collins and just didn't happen. Testing it probably to the Rams and all the pressure they put on CJ Stroud, but we got to keep our eye on that one, man, because it's after an amazing rookie year. It seemed like you took a little bit of a step back last year, and you're right, with a quarterback having to face that much duress, it makes your job a lot more difficult. But man, they're going to be good this year because of their defense, I think. So I don't think we're too worried. All right, what about the Jets? The Jets, they lose. The Steelers kick a 60-yard field goal. And then unfortunately that fourth down pass, Fields scrambles around, throws it to Garrett Wilson. Your boy Jalen Ramsey lights him up, and the Jets lose the game. What do you think about the Jets this year?
Listen, one thing I think you watch a football team and your first thing you start to think about is the head coach and what his impact is on a team. His first year there in their very first game. Man, I think you and I got to spend some time with Aaron Glenn at the owners' meetings, and I walked away like, this dude is the real deal, and somebody as a former player who can coach it with a passion and an energy that feels rare, and it feels like, man, I'd love to go take the field with this guy as my leader, and you could see that. I think you saw guys who've been there, who had an uptick in how they play and the feistiness and the attitude and the energy, and you saw some of the guys who just got there, who all of a sudden, Justin Fields being a great example, man, the energy he played with, the passion, it looked like, man, this dude looked clear. I mean, he didn't look like a guy who was confused. He didn't look like, hey, man, I'm hoping I can make things happen. He played with a clear mindset to me. I'm really excited about this offensive line. I think that they showed against a great Steelers front, really the impact they can have in a game. Some of the vertical movement they got, man, was special. Armand Membu, man, right tackle. I know people don't want to get excited about a lineman. Go watch some snaps of Armand Membu moving people. Offensive line playing the run game is point A to point B. Can you move that other human being out of the way? He looks like a rare breed in that case, and they really hit there. So I'm excited to see how this team progresses, because they win or lose when you play with that style of football. That's not something you get discouraged by. To take that team to the wire, they have to kick a 60-yarder to beat you. There's plenty of things you can sell. We should have won that game. They made a special play at the end to beat us. And so I think that team goes into next week really confident how they played. And it'll be interesting to see, can they build off of it and continue that?
I'm happy for Jets fans. I mean, that was a feisty team. They didn't win, but they're going to be feisty all season long. Reminded me a little bit of the Cardinals last year, but probably a more talented version, to where they're going to take on the personality of their head coach and they're going to get after people. It's one of those, in the past few years, you're probably circling and saying, oh, good, we got the Jets on the schedule, but they're going to be a tough out this year. Every single game, they're going to be tough to beat. And I think it's going to be because of the way that they're going to play, the effort they're going to play with on defense. And then Justin Fields, if he continues to use his legs, continue to use your legs. Don't feel bad about taking off and running, because it is such a weapon.
What did you think, Fitz, there on that last play? Do you think he could have got it with his legs?
I think he should have run. I mean, he saw Garrett Wilson flash, obviously, and threw it to him. But that last play, there were 3 dudes on defense that were right there, but with the talent that he has and running, going to pick up a 4 or 5 yard first down, I thought running with it probably would have been better. And obviously, hindsight, the ball gets knocked out. It probably would have been a better decision, but I don't ever want to see him reluctant to run, because it's an absolute weapon and it gives problems to defenses. It was nice to see him get in the end zone a couple times with his legs. The Falcons, I paid close attention to that game. They end up losing, and a tough one. I mean, I was really impressed with Penix, but what do you think about the Falcons? You think this is just a sign of things to come this year, that they're going to struggle, or do you think that it was a one-off for them?
Well, I think, again, Fitz, we had some games with them last year, and obviously not one of their best defensive performances, and they made some changes there, and we'll see how this defense really progresses throughout the season. But, I think, again, it's similar to the Jet situation. I think to look at Penix in the first year of this is your football team, you've been preparing to be the starter. I thought there were some impressive parts of it. You look in this game, the pass protection, that offensive line group, even down some of their guys that they're supposed to be out there with. Really the ability they have there at running back with Bijan Robinson and those cats. I mean, they're explosive, man. And so I just think that this offense is going to only get better and better. And I think that, to me, defensively, it's going to be one of those things that they're going to continue to grow. They got some young rushers on the edges, which is always a factor, as those guys grow up. Because young rushers, they may have talent, but it takes them a little while to get a feel for how to rush these elite tackles in the NFL. So I think I see this defense being one that's going to get better and better as the year goes. But, man, there's some moments in this game where they drive themselves back, put themselves in situations to win against a Bucs team who, let's not forget, people are claiming this is the NFC representative in the Super Bowl. I mean, there's lots of people that are picking the Bucs to be the team that takes down Philly, the team that beats the Lions or Packers to that spot. So I think that, to me, it's like that's a heck of a game for this team with a young quarterback to play and get down to the wire and really put themselves in a situation to win the game, or at least force overtime and fail twice.
I mean, Penix in those gotta-have-it situations at the end, he takes the team down and scores and takes the lead with just over 2 minutes left, and he just seems to have some traits. It's like when they need it, he somehow pulls out a play. A couple of those little runs and scrambles that he had reaching the ball out was incredible, and that's not his game, but when they needed it most, he was able to make those plays. And then you have to remember that, first of all, Egbuka is going to be a star. I love the way they're talking about him with the Bucs, with 2 touchdown grabs, but then Penix gets them in a position again at the end, and they miss a 44-yarder. So I think if I'm the Falcons, I'm really excited about Penix, the way that he's played, the way he played last year, but the way he came out and played in the moments that mattered the most in this game. So I think they're going to be just fine. They've got a lot of talent on offense. And I always listen to you for O-line play, so that makes me happy to hear that they were able to protect him. What about you've already kind of gone on your tantrum about the Bengals. They won the game. And look, we talked about this going into the week. That Bengals-Browns matchup is always tough. Like, you kind of never know. It's always a tough game for them.
Anytime you're facing Myles Garrett, I mean, this guy's is absolute alien. Honestly, this is not fair. And anytime you're facing him and you look at how the Browns they're going to play a lot of this man-to-man coverage. They've got really good guys on the outside. So they're going to battle the crap out of you in the secondary. And then the pass rush is getting on you fast. And you're on the road. That is a tough matchup. I've said the same thing about the Rams against the Texans. That's a tough matchup for a pocket quarterback in a situation where you got a great pass rush and they can play you man for man on the outside in the sense that they got dudes out there that can cover. That's tough for their style of offense for the Bengals. So to me, to go and survive, it is what it is. But listen, Bengals fans for the first 5 weeks, they're scared to death, Fitz. I get a text. I am sitting at the Rams game, and I'm getting a text from Nick Lachey, my buddy Nick. And he is, I've told you this a bunch of times, we're going to have to get him on the pod. He is an avid, fanatic Cincinnati sports fan.
Yeah.
And he's living it. And this is right before the kick that the Browns miss. And it's going to dictate the game. And he's just like, I need you, Whit. What is wrong with this team? What is our problem? What do we got to fix? And sure enough, kicks miss. We go on, hey, Bengals win. I'm like, hey, buddy, this is that game. Like every year, this is the game. Just let it go. You know what it is? The Bengals needed the W. That's all they needed. And we're going to move on, and they're going to be just fine. You can't have that kind of talent on offense and not be really good. They are going to be really good on offense and defensively. There's some mistakes. There's some things they can fix. I thought they played physical, ran around, flew around. There was an intent and an attitude to their defense, regardless of what they did or didn't do well. And so I'm excited to see this group grow under Al Golden.
Yeah, I came out of it with that. Excited that the defense had a much better performance than they did all of last year. And then the second thing from that game, for all the fans out there, when quarterbacks miss throws or, sail one high, put it too wide, throw it too early, whatever it is, I want you to go back to the clip of Joe Burrow. There's a great clip that's going around on social media. It's from right behind him, standing in the pocket, and Myles Garrett comes around on a stunt through the inside with a free 8-yard run at Joe Burrow, and he has to stare down the barrel of the defense and deliver that ball as Myles Garrett annihilates him. It is not easy to play quarterback in the NFL, and that is one of those reasons why just watch that one clip and know that Joe felt that for the rest of the game and thought about it for the rest of the game, and that's why the job of being a quarterback in the NFL is so damn difficult.
Toughest position in sports.
The last game or team that I would like to talk to you about is the Lions. And here was my thing with the Lions. I'm not worried because of their quarterback, steady guy. I'm not worried because all the success they had last year. But on offense, it did feel a little different. I think maybe losing Ben Johnson is going to be a huge deal, but maybe you can talk me off the ledge a little bit because they still have all the stars and the pieces and the firepower on the outside, which as a quarterback, that's all I care about. But talk me off the ledge a little bit that these guys are going to be okay.
Yeah, just remember too, Fitz, you're changing coordinators, and you've also had some changes there in the interior part of this line. And let's not forget the identity of how everything was built with Ben Johnson. And that was, we are going to run the football at you. We're going to get in different personnels. We're going to play with heavy linemen. We're going to do everything we can. Play actions are going to come off of all this stuff. Like, we are going to force our physical will on you throughout the football game, and you're going to play a physical game against us, and then we're going to build a lot of stuff off of it. And that's the style of who they are. In this game, they had zero opportunity to get the run game going. The Packers absolutely eliminated them in a run game, in any kind of run game, any explosive plays, any of that stuff. And you look under the time that Dan Campbell's been the head coach, this was their poorest performance from that standpoint. So to me, we're going to say it's the play caller, it's going to say this, but it's really comes down to they're a little different, and maybe they need to figure out who they are exactly. And it may not be a team that can only lean on just we're going to run it. As we get to kind of grow into this relationship together and figure out who's where and how we can be efficient as an offense, we may have just put ourselves in a situation was, yes, we got new coordinator, but we also might be a little bit of a different team. And so we got to kind of find each other and figure out what's our identity and how are we going to be efficient, because we got all these dudes. And that's a lot of mouths to feed on that offense. I mean, there's a lot of guys that you say this guy deserves a football, but how do we figure that out and what becomes our identity? Well, one's a really big challenge to go play the Packers on the road. They just got Micah Parsons. Their confidence and level of belief that they're about to be an elite team is insane. Yeah. So you've got to have great things happen from the jump, and that didn't happen for them. So you kind of, that's a perfect storm to me. I think that it will be an outlier. I think the Lions are too talented on both sides of the football. Dan Campbell's a heck of a leader. I think they will, by the end of the year and throughout the middle of the year, find themselves and be a dominant football team. I just don't know if they're the team they were a few years ago, because we have Clay Matthews on the podcast today, and let's not forget when Clay Matthews came in 2019, he brought it up. That was our first playoff miss under Sean McVay. And it was a lot of, man, we were really good in 17. We were insane. We had a bad performance in the playoffs and lost. We went to the Super Bowl, weren't at our best in the biggest moment. We lost. The league kind of caught up to who we were. What else did we do? We had a change at center. We went to a young center. We lost some of our interior, really what identity, which who made us who we were. And it was like, oh no, the run game's got to change a little bit. We got to change a little bit of how we build our offense. So I see it very similar, that it's not just Ben Johnson being gone. It's the league's caught up to exactly how you want to attack us. You've made some changes where you're not quite as good, and now your efficiency level actually has to move up while you're just different from an identity standpoint. It's a challenge, and so this will be a big year for them to find themselves and get going with some positivity. They need something good to happen in this next week.
So all I heard in all that is you think they're still going to be great, and you think they're going to miss the playoffs. So you danced around it. So now we have clips with you either side, whatever you want to do. All I know
I didn't say they're going to be great. I said that eventually they'll be dominant on the opposite side of the ball. I still think that this is a year they got to find it, though. This is an exploratory time over the next 2 to 4 weeks of them finding their identity and what they're going to be good at and how they're going to attack people.
You're the stats guy, but the one that popped out to me as I was thinking about it, they go 15-2 last year. They lost to the Bucs and the Bills by a combined 10 points. And the opener this year, they're sitting at 0-1. They lost by 14. Just does feel like a little bit of a different year. But I also think they just ran into the buzzsaw of Green Bay, home opener, all the excitement there.
And I know you're not going to love this, Fitz. I'm still not an NFC North, advocate. I think last year they had the easiest schedule in football, and I think that these teams are good. I didn't say they weren't good.
You know me. I love the Packers. I love the Packers last year.
I like the Packers, but I just don't think they're as good as we may think they all are, and all of them have a much more challenging schedule, so we'll see.
All right. Speaking of home openers, I've got a bone to pick with Bills Mafia.
Oh, no.
Just a quick PSA, maybe. So as I watched the Bills-Ravens game on Sunday night, I was thinking about Marv Levy and thinking about the words that they have somebody come back and say, where else would you rather be than right here, right now? I got to say him last year. Well, I know a lot of the fans decided that where they would rather be in the fourth quarter was out beating the traffic in the parking lot. And
that's tough.
I get it. I know as Bills fans that you've had years of heartbreak and you have a tremendous amount of scars. There have been too many Sundays when you thought hope was alive, only to have it ripped away. And those wounds do not fade easy. But let's remember, this is not your 2009 to 2012 Buffalo Bills. Those days are over. The drought is long gone. We've got Josh motherfucking Allen as our quarterback. And with 17 under center, you're never out of a game. So here's the cold, hard truth. Josh loves Bills Mafia more than anything. Maybe not as much as Haley. I think Haley surpassed Bills Mafia.
Don't forget Fitz and Whit.
But Josh loves you guys. He lives for this fan base. But last night, he was disappointed. And he alluded to it in the post-game press conference. And I just want you all to consider this your notice. He will never quit on you as a fan base. So please Don't you dare quit on Josh and this team. I had to get that off my chest. Now I feel
I love
a lot
that.
better.
I feel better,
Andrew.
damn it, Fitz, because you know what? All the freaking Bills Mafia that stayed, how freaking cool was the moment of Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox running around in circles of the field,
so
Mr.
sick.
Brightside's on. Insane. I thought my favorite part of this whole night, Joey Bosa, who's obviously been through some stuff with the Chargers, his comments in postgame where he says, we won the game. It's awesome. It's sick. It felt like it was the Super Bowl, but it wasn't. So we still got a lot of winning to do to try to go get the Super Bowl. But he was like, that literally felt like we won the Super Bowl out there. Like, that's so freaking cool, man. For the fans that stayed, the moment you created, the energy and everything, to hear Joey Bosa, this guy, vet who comes over, gets to join Bills Mafia and be a part of it, to be like, man, I felt like I won the damn Super Bowl. That's the energy of this place, winning this game. That's really cool, man. And that says a lot about why you always talk about Buffalo is such a special place. To hear an NFL vet feel like he won the damn Super Bowl because he won week 1 at the last second is freaking sick.
And can I tell you, I was happy that Keon Coleman fell down or got tackled at the end there, because
Yes.
I don't think anybody wanted to see Lamar Jackson with the ball in his hand again. That was an epic battle. And you talk about statistics. It's like the only team ever in NFL history to win a game in regulation, down 15 with 4 minutes to go. There was the crazy stat of however many rushing yards the Ravens had, and over 40 points. And teams that had done that were 277-0 in NFL history. So I get it. I get it with Bills fans that it felt bleak, but just a great reminder of the era that we're living in and the quarterback that we get to watch every Sunday.
It's our time, baby.
All right. Now, Whit, I am curious here. I know you've got this Protector of the Year award stuff going on, and I feel like you've got to give us updates, because as the casual fan, look, I love watching quarterbacks, receivers, but we don't really grind and watch these linemen like you do every week. So can you just give us a glimpse into what's going on after week 1 with these big fellas?
Listen, I'm really excited because this year, Fitz, as you well know, is the first year of the Protector of the Year award.
Yeah,
The NFL's giving out NFL honors. It's going to be massive. I'm excited. It was a big movement by a lot of us guys that have played the position to talk to the commissioner and the league about an opportunity to recognize some of these guys. You know, some of the guys that have kept you upright over the years, Fitz, giving you an opportunity to provide for you and yours. So you know what? I want to keep a track of it all season. I'm going to be watching these big fellas play, and I can't wait to watch some guy, an NFL lineman. This was my whole point when I talked to Commissioner Fitz. I said, all I want, it's not even about the daggum award. It's about, I want a guy standing on the NFL honors stage that has done nothing but protect and serve all season long. He's fought through every hangnail, every freaking injury, everything it is that happens to linemen standing in front and being the wall for all that happens on an NFL football field. It's what separates our league, because in the NBA, we have stars and they drive the league. In the Major League Baseball, you have, your great hitters, your home run guys, your pitchers. You don't have linemen, the guys who just stand in the way while everyone else succeeds. It's what separates our game from every other damn game. I want to see a lineman standing on that stage, holding a trophy, being recognized for his work. That's what the hell it's all about. So listen, this season, I'm going to have big Whit energy every week, baby. Big freaking Whit energy. All right? Not, hey, I'm Andrew Whitworth. I'm from Monroe, Louisiana. I'm talking big Whit energy, damn it. Let's fucking go. Anyways, so the first big Whit energy guy is Joe Alt, baby. He allowed 0 pressures on 41 snaps, moving to left tackle, middle of training camp. The big fella did his thing. Joe was out there balling. I already brought up my young guy that I want to give a shout out to, Armand Mimbu, because same thing. This guy gave up 0 pressures. Now listen, the Steelers fans are going to come after us. They did chip And, they did
It was his first game.
They did a lot of things to TJ Watt to keep him out of the game. But this dude was moving people. And in the couple snaps he was one-on-one, he did a heck of a job. He's going to be a real talent. But Joe Alt, baby, is the first big Whit Energy of the week. Big freaking Whit Energy Joe Alt. Listen, I'm excited about this dude. He's going to be an absolute legend of the position. We already knew after his first year at right tackle, he's going to be special. To move over at left and look like he did, this dude's going to be a rare breed at the offensive tackle position.
I love you throwing out some love to the big fellas. I think that's great. And for all you beardos out there, if you want to sound smart at the water cooler, start talking about Joe Alt. Okay, maybe somebody will know who you're talking about. And then mention Armand Membu and just see what kind of response you get at the water cooler. We're going to make Armand Membu a household name. He played great, and it is just like you and Hank. Hank is a man's best friend. Left and right tackles are a quarterback's best friend. So I'm happy to be bringing some big Whit energy every single week. Whatever that means, I don't know. Reminds me of Pete Davidson.
Yeah, I don't either. But Fitz, I've also realized that our F count today is pretty strong.
I know. Can you bleep those out, please? Because I don't want my kids to hear that F word.
Can we beep those? Okay, Beardos, another week of NFL action means another week to win big in fantasy. And this week's segment is presented by DraftKings. The crown is yours. Week 1 is in the books, and now we're moving on to week 2. Fitz, we're going to pick our top 3 locks for players in week 2's games on DraftKings, and we're going to do it from the road, baby. All right, Fitz and I needed a little time to go over what we were going to pick for this week's Pick 6. But I'm going to go Amon St. Brown, CeeDee Lamb, and A.J. Brown, all more on 0.5 touchdowns this week, rushing or receiving.
Wow, this is all about more. This
Touchdown
is all about
week.
more this week. I've got 3 guys scoring touchdowns with a more as well this week. I've got, same with my Bills, James Cook getting in the end zone with more. I've got, the Colts are going to stay hot. Jonathan Taylor getting in the end zone. And the last one, a little bit sneaky here, Cortland Sutton finding the end zone with more. There you have it. There's your DraftKings Pick 6. Good luck. Let's win some money.
Headed to Lambeau, baby.
This season, play your players' instincts. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use code Fitz and Whit. That's code Fitz and Whit. Play just $5, get $50 in Pick 6 bonus picks. Make the call, ride the upside in partnership with DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 plus age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction.
Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable. Pick 6 bonus picks that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
All right, Beardos, we got a good one this week. Our guest today is a member of the Green Bay Packers Hall of Fame, as well as their all-time official sack leader. He's a 2-time All-Pro, a 6-time Pro Bowler, 2011 Super Bowl champion, a cappella singer in Pitch Perfect 2. My former teammate and a guy Fitz owes a big hug and a few steak dinners. Give a big Fitz and Whit welcome to Clay Matthews, baby.
Whit, I appreciate that intro. Thank you.
How we doing, Clay?
I'm doing well.
2010. Let's go back. Week 2, Green Bay versus Buffalo at Lambeau. I owe you a huge thank you because Trent Edwards, who might be the nicest man on earth, unfortunately had a rough day because of you. You had 3 sacks. I think he had like 7 quarterback hits. He was then benched, and that started my career with the Bills. I got paid handsomely 1.5 years later. So thank you very much for the start of my career with the Bills.
You do owe him a steak dinner.
Is there a good steakhouse we can go to? We're getting ready to go to Lambeau this week.
Oh, man, it's been a while since I've gone to a steakhouse. There was Brett Favre's Steakhouse, but I don't think that's anymore. So I don't know what to tell you. I think you're just... It's going to be Radisson room service this week.
Yes.
It's going to be tough. They do have a casino though, so you could get some hot wings. You could win some money. You could win big.
Well, we're big spotted cow and cheese curd guys.
Oh, love it. I got some spotted cow in the mini fridge right now. Always a Wisconsinite.
Wow. Okay. The other thing I have to thank you for is I am now cool with my 4 daughters because I showed them your picture last night and I said, "Do you know this guy?" And my 14-year-old right away was like, "That's the guy that's in the second Pitch Perfect. He's the German guy." And I was like, he's not from DOS Sound Machine, but he was in Pitch Perfect. Do you get recognized from the little 14-year-old teen girl crowd? Because your performance was incredible.
Well, first off, thank you for that. That was a real eye-opening experience for me. But yeah, I would say that at this point in life, more people recognize me for that amazing performance by me in Pitch Perfect 2 than my work on the field. So yeah, I actually do get recognized more. When people come up to me, it's like, yeah, it's nice to meet you, but how about your work in Pitch Perfect 2? I mean, I really blew it there when I was going after that Dave & Buster's gift card, but man, what an experience. That was a lot of fun.
Let me ask you this. I got to ask for the movie set question, though, since we're on this topic. So Fitz and I have gotten a chance now doing Thursday Night Football. We filmed some of these promo things. And, as a lineman, Clay, I know this is going to shock you. I've not done much TV work. So I have not done a whole lot of shooting of things. But it feels like a lot of sit around and do something for 10 seconds and sit around for a couple of hours and do something for 10 seconds. Is that a movie set, too? Is it like an all day? You're just sitting around waiting for them to say, yes, we're actually going to do something?
Yeah, first off, before I answer that question, I just want to tell you two that you guys look so comfortable with Shabuzi up there on stage. I couldn't have done it any better. Those moves, that dancing, you guys look so good.
Yeah. You know how that works. Yeah. So start dancing. You're like, oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, no, this is natural. This is what I do. So first off, I commend you on that. But that is exactly what Hollywood is. That is exactly, it's a whole lot of weight. You got to get the energy up. You got to fake it a little bit. But you guys did great on that. And so to answer your question, filming that shoot, it was so nerve-wracking because it wasn't just, a singular scene where you're the only one on camera. we were having a riff off. So we had, obviously the Packers. It was me, Josh Sitton, TJ Lang, David Bakhtiari, DOS Sound Machine, the Bella Bardens. And we had to sing. So it was actually filmed down in Louisiana, and we were down there for about 3 days. We filmed we recorded in the studio for about 3 days. I'm sure it took a long time for them to make us sound somewhat decent. But then we just lip synced at the battle, and man, we were so nervous. It's funny, we can go out in front of 100,000 fans and put it all on the line in real time, but the second it comes to dancing on stage with Shabuzi or filming a Pitch Perfect scene, it's like we kind of cower a little bit. We're just not ready for the spotlight.
Do you remember in that movie? I don't know if you go back and watch it. Probably watch it weekly, but so DOS Sound Machine wins that battle. Do you remember why they won? Do you remember who got second place? There was an actress that went off script and she sang an original song instead of sticking to the theme of what she was supposed to sing. I hate to put you on the spot like this, but
was it Anna Kendrick?
She got married this off season.
She got married this summer.
Was it Haley Steinfeld?
Yeah. Haley Steinfeld. Yeah, how about that?
Yep.
Yeah.
You watched the Bills game?
Oh, boy, here we go. How long was it going to take for this to come up?
Bro, what a game. From an NFL fan's perspective, what a week one. I picked the Ravens to win the Super Bowl and Lamar Jackson to win the MVP. And I felt so good in about the third quarter, maybe early fourth, and then Josh Allen just took it over. What an incredible game. You feel kind of heartbroken for the Ravens. They just can't get over the hump with those last two losses there out in Buffalo. But I have a feeling we're going to see those two teams play again in the playoffs, and I hope it's just as memorable as this week one was.
It was insane. You think of the whole weekend. I am a avid NFL guy. I'm not much of a college football guy, so I didn't catch a lot of the college football action, but you're right. This weekend was insane from top to bottom, really. I think one of the things too, Clay, I would love to ask you about, not as much last night in the game, but throughout the day Sunday, you could see it. Obviously we have this era we're in of protecting these QBs. They're a massive, part of this entire business. Obviously we all know that. But I saw a lot of tier, action going on Sunday of defensive linemen just tired of, the calls. Do you think we've gone a little far with some of these roughing the passers and how touchy it really gets?
Yeah, I saw Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah.
I forget who was it? Flacco, going for the call because he touched his face mask. What I'll say is this. I think I was the poster boy. So I'm going to take you back to 2017. So 2017, Anthony Barr dumped Aaron Rodgers on his shoulder, broke his collarbone, and it was egregious, but it was allowed within the letter of the law. He might have pushed it a little bit. And that's what set this whole thing into motion, because the level of the play of our team, the Packers at the time, went down considerably. I'm sure there was a few more injuries. So in 2018, there was a point of emphasis. Hey, we are going to protect the quarterbacks. The thing that I hate is the referees' inability to take in intent. That's what I want to see. I want to see intent. So you go back to, I don't even want to talk about myself and my hits, but you got to look at the intent of these hits. So there was an overcorrectness where anytime I touched a quarterback, anytime in 2018, if you hit a quarterback, if you fell on him, I guess they didn't study physics in school because they don't understand what it's like to hit somebody. But I feel like we've come full circle, and the hits on the quarterbacks, they seem appropriate. It seems like when there is a roughing call with a hit, it's usually warranted. What I don't like are the little hits to the face, or when a quarterback's running out of bounds. You saw this with Patrick Mahomes on Friday night. He runs out of bounds. He runs out of bounds. And then guess what? The DB takes it easy on the third time and he lowers his shoulder into him. So you're asking for it. So I think we have gone a little bit overboard, but I do think it's correcting itself that the refs aren't getting too over the top with these flags anymore. But listen, I'm in a war with the refs. I'll never like them. I'll never side with them. So to me, yes, we're doing way too much.
I know exactly how you feel. I coach my sons in youth football, Clay, and every week I have to meet with the refs, and they're like, hey, we're going to try to not call this. I mean, listen, do you understand who I am? I'm an offensive lineman. I don't want to see a flag hit the ground in this game, okay? So you can call nothing for all I care, right? You don't got to explain to me anything.
Wait, you were the best at working the refs. You were the best at working the refs.
Conversational.
The mayor of LA.
Hey, 2018, he's working the refs when I'm lined up opposite, when we come out to the Coliseum, and I was still with the Packers right there, always working the refs, a real politician.
Always, baby. A little handshake. Hello. How's the kids?
That's BS. You're asking about pets?
I feel bad. I'm going to say this because Fitz is on here, Clay, and I don't want to hurt his feelings. But you know what my real problem is? I'm all right kind of where all of it's officiated right now with the quarterbacks. I'm tired of seeing them turn to the ref and beg for the calls, though. At this point, you're so protected. Enough's enough. Don't ask for any calls. Like, it's enough. It's a bad look.
You saw that with Josh Allen. I don't know what happened, but immediately he looks over this. Like, what are we? You're throwing for 400 yards. You're throwing for 5,000 yards. What else do you want?
There is nothing better than throwing a bad interception and seeing that yellow flag next to you and being like, oh my God, yes, they called that. Oh my God. Football is back. And so is your chance to cash in like never before with DraftKings Pick 6, the official daily fantasy partner of the NFL. Your game day instincts can score you real money fast. Whit, tell the people how they can play and win.
Just pick more or less on 2 or more player stats, from breakout rookies to elite QBs, and unlock the upside every snap brings. The better your calls, the better your payout. No gimmicks, no convoluted rules, just you, your players, and a shot at big returns. Nail your picks, and you're not just winning, you're stacking. Pick 6 rewards, bold play, with payouts beyond the minimum if you beat the field.
That's all great, but you forgot the best part. As a kickoff bonus, new DraftKings customers get $50 in bonus picks with just $5 entry on your first pick set.
Share your link with your best beardos to add more cash to the bag and get bonus shots to win. As the player count goes up, so does the prize. Hit all 6 of your picks and you'll be splitting a bag that's already at $1 million or more.
This season, play your player instincts. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use code Fitz and Whit. That's code Fitz and Whit. Play just $5, get $50 in Pick 6 bonus picks. Make the call, ride the upside. In partnership with DraftKings Pick 6, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 plus age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction.
Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable. Pick 6 bonus picks that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos. Okay, so the Green Bay Packers at this point, this is reaching levels of when you were playing, especially with Julius Peppers. I mean, quarterbacks have to fear going into these games with the guys that they have, being able to get after the passer, the trade for Micah Parsons, already having Rashawn Gary. How amazing is it for a guy like you to have a guy on the other side to rush the passer, draw some attention away from you maybe, and how scary is this front right now for the Packers?
To answer your first question, as far as having another piece, another pass rushing piece. I look at my time in 2019 when I played with Whit and I was on the LA Rams. It was the first time since 2009 playoffs. We played the Arizona Cardinals. That was the first time I got double teamed. It was week 17, week 18, the wild card weekend. And then I saw double teams throughout my career until 2019. It was Aaron Donald and nobody gave a darn about me. And it was awesome. It was awesome. I won my one-on-ones. I got my sacks. I was like, hey, this is great. I'm going to be here for a while. The Rams had other plans, but nevertheless, it was amazing. So I think what you're seeing here and what you saw yesterday was a Packers defense that got not only a playmaker, but somebody that offenses truly have to account for. And you saw, they talked about this cheetah package where they have Rashawn Gary, big effort guy, Lucas Van Ness, who has maybe not lived up to the expectations of a first round pick, but they move him inside to that 3 and 5 technique and allow him to rush. He has a heck of a game. DBs, linebackers playing fast. They look good yesterday. So I'm going to, obviously, I picked the Packers to win the North. I think what's better, I don't think Micah wins them the Super Bowl, not just one guy, but what I think it shows is an all-in mentality and an all-in approach that we are so close to getting over the hump and to doing this, that there's a belief in the locker room. And I think you saw that with how they came out. They started fast, had a 17-3 lead at halftime. They never let it go. They just played so fast with so much energy, and I hope that continues throughout the seation.
When you look at this group, Clay, I think one of the things that's always interesting to me, too, is when you pair these people up, it's like how they fit. I love, like, when I look at it and kind of knowing Micah and Rashawn having played against him, like the power and really effort that Rashawn Gary plays with matches so well with the game that Micah plays on the other side. So it's like you almost have one guy who's going to compress the pocket all the time with how they play their style. I almost think of like Brandon Graham in that sense of just how the tackle's going backwards, he's going close to the quarterback. And then Micah, who is just such a guy who has everything in his arsenal, that I feel like that is going to be a really uncomfortable world. But to you, what really is it about Micah when you watch him play that you go, these are the things to me that really separate him as a rusher?
I truly believe, obviously he's athletic. He's got the measurables. He can run fast, but man, you saw that sack. And the thing that stood out to me was just the effort and hustle. I'm not very active on social media, but I posted something like 3 years ago, and I hardly ever post. It was on Micah Parsons. They gave up like a 20-yard run. This guy ran down somebody. He popped the ball out the 1-yard line, and I'm at home like, this is I'm telling my wife, like, you live to play another down. And what happens on the very next play? That team fumbles the ball. The Cowboys get it back. I'm like, man, you just don't see that very much anymore. That effort, that kind of, and I thought that one play, even though it was a fourth quarter kind of garbage time sack, I think that's what you see is just that effort and that relentlessness that he has, that he's just going to create problems. And if he doesn't maximize on it, you see both Lucas Van Ness and Rashawn Gary, who had a sack and a half yesterday, 8 tackles, I'm sure some TFLs in there. They're going to be the beneficiaries of it. DBs as well, linebackers. So I think he just takes that defense, which is already a top 10 defense, to the next level.
Yeah, there's no such thing as a garbage sack. You know that. They all count the same.
Oh, Clay knows. Trust me.
Oh, yeah, they all count. Later in my career, I would get someone down, and I'd immediately look to the sticks over there, and I was like, yeah, baby.
Yeah. Hey, Fitz, this is great. So coaching my youth football team, I actually share a Clay little nugget of wisdom that he talked to me about one day in the trainer room in LA. And we were discussing, he got an offsides call in the Cleveland game in Cleveland. And we're talking about it. And he goes, hey, Whit, listen, here's my philosophy, man. The coaches are going to scream at me once a game. I'm jumping offside. Like I'm just, hey, one time a game, I am guessing the count and I'm going, because that is the difference in that one moment where you beat it and you get there and you win clean. And I got to do it. Like, I got to tell you, at one point in the game, I got to let it go. So I tell my kids that every week. I'm like, find your moment, and I'm okay with it, guys. One time you feel you got it, jump the count and go get that quarterback.
That's it. And you know who told me that? Was the late, great Kevin Green. Third all-time in sacks, 160 sacks. Legend. He told me as a young a young player. He brought me over and said, I don't care if you get one offside again. So already I'm crowding the ball. I'm cheating. I'm taking my shots. I'm getting that bounce in my stance. And you just play so much more free when you don't feel like a coach is breathing down your neck, going to yell at you just for a simple 5-yard penalty.
Whit, I was thinking about you yesterday. Speaking of garbage sacks, Kyler Murray ran out of bounds.
Oh God! Don't get me.
He ran
bad.
out of bounds. Went from 1st and 10 to 2nd and 11. Just thinking about how frustrated and upset you guys get over little ones like that. Throw the ball away.
Oh, you get in the meeting room. The O-line coach starts telling you, "Well, guys, we gave up a couple sacks." Like, no, we didn't. The quarterback ran out of bounds. Like that's not a sack. Damn it.
So athletic quarterbacks like that. This week our game is going to be at Green Bay, and it's the Commanders. So Jaden Daniels, Clay, how do you have to change your rush patterns, or how do you have to think about it differently when you play a guy that athletic at the quarterback position?
Yeah, I mean, without getting too much into the philosophy of how they're going to approach this game, do you have somebody who spies? Do you kind of keep them in the pocket? I always hated that as a pass rusher because I just wanted to be turned loose, hair on fire, We did do that in the Super Bowl when Ben Roethlisberger was still mobile. I was sitting there playing patty cake with everybody, just to keep Roethlisberger in the pocket. It worked.
Didn't y'all do that with Kaepernick some too?
We did not do that in the playoffs. Okay. That's when he ran for like 200 yards. So you know what we did? We opened up I don't know if it was Candlestick Park, wherever it was. We opened up the next year and we said, all right, he's not going to beat us with his arm. So what does he do? He goes out and throws for 300, but we shut down Frank Gore and he runs for 30 yards. So damned if you do, damned if you don't. But Fitz, to get back to your question, I think, as Whit alluded to, I think you got to let Micah create havoc in there. You saw he did that with Sewell just darting inside every time, and that got Jared a little uncomfortable. He threw that one interception, debatable if that was, if that caused it or not, but get him uncomfortable, get somebody in his face, get him on the outside, because any quarterback, when they're outside of the pocket, they're not going to be as efficient or as accurate. They're still brilliant these days, but I think it's kind of like playing Lamar last night. You saw with the Bills, they're going to make their plays. You just got to limit their big playmaking ability, and that's trying to keep him contained as best you can.
That's awesome. Speaking of quarterbacks making some plays, listen, your boy Aaron Rodgers yesterday.
Oh yeah.
I mean, come on. Hey, listen, let's think of this. You were there at the start of his era there. Are you surprised yourself that he's still doing it, age 41, Aaron's still out there going?
It looks appropriate. Does he look like the same player in the pocket? No, but he's 41. He's going to take a few more sacks. I mean, Tom Brady looked like that. You're going to take sacks, but Aaron has been the best at not turning the ball over. And I mean, you heard Brady's quote this past week. I think just from playing with Aaron and watching him and watching these other quarterbacks, the most effortless pass, the most effortless ability to get the ball from point A to point B. And man, they looked good on offense. I thought it would be a kind of a run first, especially after watching him with the Jets last year. Where are they going to go with this? But he looked good. He looked on time with his receivers. I shot him a text last night, my buddy. That was a phenomenal game. I'm sure, amongst the masses of texts, I had to, because I enjoyed that. And then Justin Fields, I know we're talking about A-Rod here. What a game. What a game by him.
Impressive.
And you love to see where the Jets are moving forward, because I did not expect that. I mean, we're talking about Pittsburgh Steelers defense, and they give up, 29, 30 points or whatnot. But yeah, A-Rod looks good. Over 4,000 yards this year. We're calling it.
Wow. And Arthur Smith, I think that them together is going to be good. Arthur Smith is a play caller. Some of it is the run first stuff, but he's great with the play actions. And you saw, I feel like all 4 of Aaron's touchdowns were schemed up great. And the last one, the deeper one at the end, was a great throw. But I think it's going to be a good marriage there. Were you surprised at the pettiness that Aaron had and the feelings he has towards the Jets?
That was awesome.
Are we surprised at anything Aaron says at this point?
No.
Honestly,
Negative.
What's the saying? Any news is good news or bad news is good. It doesn't matter. But I don't know how it went down for him in New York. Obviously, he feels like he got burned, and he went out there and put up however many points, however many yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 picks. Good for him.
Yeah.
If we had played the Packers after I was done with them, yeah, I'm trying to beat the Packers. And I'm sure when you probably played the Bengals, you were trying to crush them.
When I played the Rams, or when I played the Bengals again, or when I played the Bills, or when I played the Titans or the Texans or the Jets it just, for me, the revenge game got old. There was really only one that mattered, and after that it was like, wait, I did play on this team? Yeah, that's right.
Well, Fitz, I got to commend you, because I don't know what, it was a primetime game. I'm sure you probably get this a lot, but you were in Miami. I was watching this. You got your face mask pulled to the side and hit this deep seam on, oh man, what a ball that was. And then of course you got benched the next week for Tua, but what a remarkable throw.
It's a fantastic throw
right there. I was like, this guy right here. It only took 11 years into your career or whatever it was for me to be a fan, but man, what a throw. What a throw.
Yeah, thank you. That was only, I think that was 17 or 16 years in, but thank you, Clay. I appreciate it.
Sorry, I shortchanged you.
Yeah. No, but this is like, I did a preseason broadcast with Al Michaels, and he was giving me crap because he's like, I've called however many hundreds of NFL games, and he called one of my preseason games, never in the regular season, which just meant that I never played in any of the big time games. So I was looking it up, and I was like, I don't think I've ever been hit by Clay. And sure as shit, man, I got to see you play twice from the sideline and always loved your game, but never got to be sacked by you. Did you have a quarterback that you love sacking the most, or that you had like the greatest pride in taking them down?
I got to tell you, the greatest feeling is at Soldier Field, when I would get a sack and I would hear, I'm going to assume 70,000+ there just would lay into me. I would feed off that negative energy. I got more energy from that negativity than I would ever get in Lambeau with the sack. But man, that's my favorite field, favorite time to get a sack was at Soldier Field. I respect the rivalry so much. And I love their fans too. I love that they hate me. I love it.
So I'm shocked that I know you've done some WWE stuff, but like it just seems to fit. It seems like you should still be in that world, loving all the hatred and creating the character and all that, but not in the cards anymore, huh?
No, not in the cards. I had my time. I maximized it. I'm at peace with my career. I'm now raising these kids, trying to be a good father, but it's still in there. I still got that flair, so to speak. So you just let me know when I'll just have, Dana or McMahon, just reach out. Let me know when you need a guest promo.
Oh, I love that. Speaking of some flair, playing at USC back in the day, Pete Carroll just became the oldest head coach in NFL history. Now, he's referred a lot to his failure to recognize your potential when he coached you at USC as one of his greatest mistakes of his coaching career. What do you think about Pete Carroll, man, and the legend he's become as a coach? Could you feel it back in those USC days?
Man, I bet against him this weekend. I said the Patriots and Vrabel, and well, first of all, I thought they were going to come in with a heavy run-first approach. I was impressed with Geno Smith and what they were able to do against that defense. But more so than that, getting back to Pete, I'm not surprised. Pete has maintained that same level of energy that when I first got to USC in 2004, he built the program around competition and competing. And that's what we did. Our practices were harder than any game that we played. And it wasn't for everybody. Obviously, I wasn't a 5-star recruit, blue chip athlete. I kind of had to work my way up. That's a separate story. But man, just battling with guys like Brian Cushing, Ray Maualuga, it just, iron sharpens iron. And so he took that to Seattle. He took that organization, turned it around. And I mean, you saw the Legion of Boom, their pass rushers. I mean, they were it. And so I see what he's doing with the Raiders being very similar to what we see in the AFC West with the Broncos and the Chargers with Harbaugh. I see him turning that organization around. I think it starts with the belief. He goes out, gets Ashton Genty, and I think he's going to try and do what he did in Seattle. And that's just all about competition, being physical, playing great defense, creating turnovers, and off to a 1-0 start. Couldn't have done any better.
And he's got a guy you can build all that around in Max Crosby, because the way he plays down in and down out with effort and energy. I mean, that is Pete Carroll written all over it. He's going to be up on that tape constantly with Pete.
That linebacker room, let's go back to that for a minute. You, Cush, I know you played with Maualuga, Whit, and then Keith Rivers was part of that too, right? He was a top 10 pick.
So going back to 2000, I'm going to just name some of the lines. So 2004 to 2008, I was there. We had Lofa Tatupu, who obviously, played in Seattle and had a number of Pro Bowls. I'm trying to think of guys who were obviously Cushing getting drafted first overall first round, that is, to the Texans. Ray going second. We also had Kaluka Maiava, who was Rose Bowl MVP at one point. He went fourth round to Cleveland. And then, you had myself sneaking in the first. So we had, we want to take over the moniker of LBU. I think that's Penn State, but we had a good little run there for a minute.
Wasn't Super Bowl MVP there too? Was he?
Who, me? No.
Malcolm.
Oh, Malcolm Smith. I forgot Malcolm Smith was in there as well.
Too.
Super Bowl MVP.
That is insane.
See, that's littered with talent. I can't even remember guys who won the Super Bowl and were MVP of it.
I got to look up this guy's name. So at Harvard, it's a little bit different. So one of my best friends from there, one of my receivers when I was there, what happens at Harvard is you get put in a random room with random roommates your freshman year. There's no sports dorms or anything. And so he was curious and he was like, dude, I was looking at my freshman year roommates the other day just to see where they are. And, didn't keep up with them, obviously. And he's like, oh my God, I looked up his name. His net worth is like $8 billion. And he founded Airbnb. Nathan Blacharzik or whatever. And I was like,
a little different.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a little different than that. But look, at Harvard, we do it too. We lose track of who we went to school with and, the Zuckerbergs.
Would you be considered a failure based on the Zuckerbergs and the Airbnbs? Because you made a cool living, and you were on TV, but you didn't start an app or a tech company or AI.
I know. So it was one of those things. I always used to joke about it when I got into the league is I chose one of the only professions where it was frowned upon. Yep. That was when I was at the combine and I met with teams, all the questions were, yeah, but do you really love football? You sure you don't want to become a doctor? That was the things that I had to, yes, I do like football. I enjoy playing. But it's an awesome place. And yes, I'm certainly not the most successful of the roommates that I had. And I don't know if failure is the right word, but if there were 8 of us, I'm probably 6th on the list of career earnings.
Well, Clay, if he takes you for a tour, just make sure that you go with what is definitely one of his best accomplishments. His son Brady, his oldest, just started at Harvard this past month. How cool is that to have your youngest go to Harvard? But don't go with Fitz because you'll get kicked off of campus. Because he took me for a tour. They didn't even recognize Fitz Magic. They were like, "Where's your student ID? What are you doing trying to go in the cafeteria?" We got kicked out by the lunch lady. Yeah. We got thrown out of Harvard's campus. So to answer your question, Clay, yes. Unfortunately, he played football. All right. You know what I mean?
I expected they're going to name the stadium after you. What's this I hear? The alumni, aren't you wearing your ring like you're an Aggie or something like that? Everything in that football program should be about you and your perseverance.
Well, I appreciate that. And I'm glad that you brought up rings because it's amazing that Whit hasn't talked about being a Super Bowl champion yet. Go. But where is your Super Bowl ring right now?
It's collecting dust in the safe.
Okay, so you don't wear it everywhere you go like Whit does?
Yeah, where do you stand on wearing of the ring? Where do you stand on that? I always like to ask this question. I don't have to ask Fitz this, but I'll ask you.
I have an Ivy League championship ring.
I believe I've worn it maybe 3 times. The last time was about a year ago. I got inducted in the Packers Hall of Fame. I kind of hemmed and hawed. I figured it was appropriate. Last time we won a Super Bowl in Green Bay. The first time I wore it was to when we got the rings, the ring presentation. Yeah. And the second time I wore it was at a Grammys party with Lil Wayne, DJ Khaled, Baby. There's a picture, of me flaunting it because like a 23-year-old growing up in the suburbs, no one can relate more to NOLA Miami rap than me. So that was the 3 times I think I've worn it. Otherwise, it is collecting dust. Not sure where you guys sit on wearing a ring, but those are my 3 experiences.
I'm in the same boat, but I'm gonna consider this a safe space to share. But yesterday,
hold on. You went through a whole year where you put it on a necklace. I thought
that's not true. That's not true. Get out of here. That is not true. You're a liar. So Safe Space, yesterday, I was really hyped for week 1. I was excited. Last week we had JJ Watt on. I made a little bet with him on the Texans Rams. So I was pretty jacked up. I talked to him. He's going to the game. I'm like, yeah, dude, this is sick. I actually brought the ring with me. I had it on my finger. I've never worn it to like a game or any of that type of stuff before. I walk out the tunnel and AD's standing there and he doesn't have it on. And I'm like, nope. And I just do the little like subtle slip off, put it in my pocket, and I rocked my ring in my pocket the whole game.
Oh, no.
Didn't wear it. Oh, yeah. I was like, you know what? This looks stupid. I'm not doing it. I can't do it. I can't wear it in public.
Do you have it around you? Because I'm curious. When we won in 2010, I mean, the rings nowadays are insane that I can't even. The ring we won in 2010, you could wear it and it's not too gaudy. I feel like nowadays, you know, you're crazy. Like, yeah, it's insane. I mean, you're over there twist topping, it's spinning in circles. It's like a National Treasure with Nicolas Cage type, you know, Rube's Gold, you know, whatever it is. But they're impressive. They're impressive.
They are. Well, it rocked in my back pocket the whole day. So it's great. And now there's no telling where it is because that means I just set it somewhere. I'm going to have to look through the house and figure out where it is when I got home.
Before we sign up, I was just going to say, dude, can't wait. I hope your Packers win. Are you still a Packers fan? Is that the team that you cheer for?
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, I'm not sure how you felt about the Bengals after, and I'm not sure how your time went if you were released, if they didn't re-sign you. So, you ever been in a relationship where somebody moves on from you? There's that human emotion, you know, you have a little spite, you know, you don't want to see her get with. And they did. They went out. They drafted Rashawn Gary. They got Zadarius Smith, Preston Smith. I think they went all the way to the NFC Championship. That was 2019 when we failed to make the playoffs there in LA. But no, I mean, listen, I loved my 10 years that I spent in Green Bay. I consider myself a Wisconsinite more than Southern California, where I grew up. It was cool to go back there last year, be put in the Packers Hall of Fame, get all the teammates, but not just teammates. I'm talking coaches, equipment staff. I mean, media. It was so fun to see, and it's such a unique city. And the relationships that I formed and my family formed. I talked about this in my speech, from the lady who served our suite on game day to the gentleman who worked at Lambeau Field who would help my wife fix, you know, the shutters or something like that. It was awesome. So yes, I'm all in. I love to see their success. I'm happy they're having the success they are. I don't think any of us want to they want to continue their career. But I love it. I love the moves they're making. I'm happy for them. I hope they go out and get it all done this year. So go Pack.
I love to hear that, man. Because I'm the same way. It wasn't a great ending in Cincy, and you know what? Time heals all wounds, and you know. But I cherish the 11 years, and I will never. Cincinnati's always going to be part of me and my family. It's obviously where we had all our kids, so it will always be a really special place. And so I love to hear that Clay Matthews is a Green Bay Packer, because my lasting image of you will be just. We talked about Micah Parsons' effort, Max Crosby, but you, man, running around the field, airborne, whatever it took. You know, in my mind, I just picture Clay Matthews jumping, leaping. I don't know why, because it just feels like that was the end of every effort to every play. That was you, man. You were the epitome of that, man. So appreciate you joining us today and being a part of this.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
All right, Fitz, it's time. This is exciting. We've felt about this for 2 years now, that we were wanting to do this on the podcast. This is a part of our vision because it's really important to us. And I mean, you even have a coin made, so obviously it's important to you. But we are going to start our Beard of the Week. And what better time than right after week 1? And maybe this is bias, Fitz, but I'm just going to let all the beardos know the first ever Beard of the Week from the Fitz and Whit podcast is going to go to Ed Oliver, baby. And here's a couple reasons why, Fitz. One, because Buffalo had an absolute epic game last night. Also, Ed Oliver played out of his mind in the game and had a huge impact. But even more important than that for me, coming from my side, because I know you're kind of, yours goes into hair, so it's a different subject to you. I'm a bald man. Ed Oliver likes to angle the top of the beard. That's a big thing to me. Putting the angle on it, not the straight across. I don't like the straight across that leads to nothing. It looks weird to me. It looks like somebody just shaved your head. I love the angle. He puts the angle in there at the very top of the beard. Means a lot to me. Very much deserved Beard of the Week, Ed Oliver.
Yeah. I mean, his beard showed up in prime time. the game's biggest moments. He caused the fumble on Derrick Henry. I think that goes into it, but it's also his commitment to it. I think when I see Ed Oliver in the past, it's felt a little Amish to me. I don't know how well he can grow a mustache, but he keeps that thing low and trimmed. So like that clean shaven upper lip and the clean shaven cheeks, you were talking about those angles. The guy obviously cares and he puts effort into it. And he's probably got a A+ barber. But I'll say this, the Amish, I believe they grow their beards as a symbol of their commitment to their faith, to their wife, and to their family. And so I know that Ed, this beard, it just reminds me of his commitment to Bills Mafia, his commitment to excellence, and his commitment to his Bills quarterback. So Ed Oliver, you are the beard of the week this week. Thank you for your performance on Sunday night. And thank you for showing men everywhere that you can still look beautiful with facial hair. Hey, Hank, what do you know? I beat your ass last week. Picked 5 games better than you did. No surprise there. I've got a Harvard degree. All right, Hank, let's do it again because I want to prove that it wasn't by chance. I want to prove that I am smarter than you. We're going to go 5 games again. The first game we're going to go with Jags at Bengals. This one seems a little tougher than maybe before we knew the results of week 1. Those Jaguars look pretty good, Hank. I'm going to pick the Bengals. What are you going to do, Hank?
All right, Hank. Let's do this, baby. Hold on. Don't get too excited.
God, he's hungry today. Have you not fed him since the picks last week or what?
All right, Jags, Bengals, Hank.
He's probably met Liam Cohen before, huh?
Jags, Bengals, which one?
All these head coaches, you know them all. He knows Zach Taylor well, too, I'm sure.
God, he's too good of a dog.
Hank, if you're going to show up late to Harvard versus Hank, at least eat the damn treats. This is it. This is it, Whit. This is why I don't like dogs right here. God, he's cute, though.
This is so funny. He won't eat. All right, I'm doing it this way. All right, Jags, Bengals. Which one? Oh.
Jaguars.
You went Jaguars.
Okay. So he's so well behaved he won't eat off the table? That's what's going on right now?
Listen.
Wow.
This is called discipline in the Whitworth household, okay? Hank will not eat off a table because he has been trained to not eat off a table.
Okay, let's go with the second game. Second game is going to be New England at Miami. Gosh, again, after the week 1 results, both teams 0-1 looking for their first win. This becomes a little bit more difficult. I'm going to say, Vrabes is going to play these guys tough, but I'm going to pick Miami with a little bounce back this week. I'm going with the Dolphins.
Ooh, all right.
What do you think, Hank?
Patriots or Dolphins, Hank? Ooh, he smells. Oh, he's a Vrabel fan. I like it. Will Campbell, baby.
Feel good about
Will
that
Campbell.
one.
That's what I'm talking about.
And LSU, we trust. All right.
Yeah,
Let's
baby.
go Denver, Indy now.
Ooh, this is a good game. I'm excited about this game.
I mean, Indy looked pretty good. I'll tell you what, Tyler Warren is an absolute stud. I can't wait to see him play this year. I actually had one of my buddies, when he was watching film for the team that he works for, he said that Tyler Warren was the most complete tight end he has ever seen coming into the NFL draft. So I took note of that, had a great week 1. I am going to go with Indy in this game. I'm picking Indy.
Wow. Hank, here's your chance to separate. Broncos, Colts. You ready? Broncos, Colts. Here we go. Ooh, quick decision. Oh, he's going Broncos.
God, he loves Bo Nix. He will not bet against Sean Payton and Bo Nix. I like that. All right.
All right.
2 left. Cleveland at Baltimore. Say what you want, but just like the Bengals in Cleveland last week, it's always a tough matchup. I'm going Baltimore. They're at home. They're feeling bad about the loss to the Bills. I think this one's going to be a blowout. Hank, what do you think?
Hank, we got Browns, Ravens, baby. What do you want? Oh, this is a quick decision. Woo!
So that was Ravens, right? Yeah.
Ravens.
Yeah, we're in the same
went
boat.
Ravens.
Okay, last one, Hank. The Eagles at the Chiefs. The Chiefs need it.
Man.
The Chiefs need it. They need a win. They need to get back on track. I am picking Philadelphia in this game, the Road Warriors. What do you think, Hank?
All right, Hank. Let's get you a treat. Here we go. All right. Eagles, Chiefs. Oh, he goes Eagles.
Yeah, he goes Eagles as well. I think you can manipulate him with the way you're holding up those treats. I think that's BS, but
Hank, don't let him take away your comeback week, right? It's week 2. Listen, Fitz, in college football, you might know how to handle success because you play for a great program. In the NFL, your story will be dictated by your ability to bounce back from setbacks. So the comeback is the most powerful part of what you got. Week 2, baby. Who responds to adversity will tell us a lot about their football team.
I love it. And that is it for us, Fitz, Whit, and Hank. We'll be back on next Wednesday to find out which fan bases are really starting to hit the panic button. Follow the show on all social media at Fitz and Whit with the A-N-D and spelled out. Fitz and Whit is a Wave original. Thanks again to Clay Matthews for joining us. Thanks to our production crew. And thanks again to all you beardos for tuning in. We will see you next week.
Peace.